Disclaimer, I am not Mother's Basement. He makes great videos, and I greatly respect every single one of his What's It an OP videos, almost, but I have very different criteria to what makes an anime opening awesome. I love the opening of Mob Psycho, but second best of all time was a stretch. I'm also not gonna pull any Mother's Basement detail stuff like,
if you look at Todoroki's hair in this scene, it's down, and in this scene, it's sideways, so therefore you can see the character development and the battle between good and evil.
Okay, fine, I realize Mother's Basement doesn't actually do that. That was way exaggerated, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. Plain and simple, what the opening's telling you and what it's meant to be telling you. In my mind, an opening's job is simple. It's supposed to get someone really hyped for the show they're about to watch. Not necessarily to cram in millions of teeny details that if you watch frame by frame, you might understand something deep about something that you won't notice in that minute and a half opening sequence, and therefore won't specifically hype you for the show. Another important thing in my opinion is the music, which also has to be awesome. Having these two things in mind, Boku no Hero Academia's second opening tells everyone a message, whether you realize it or not, or whether it's only in your subconscious. So I'm very happy to do a video like this, even though I'm generally a comedy type YouTube channel.
Can hours of hard work and physical training be enough? Can intense studying and good morals put him on equal terms with natural, unearned talent? No. No, it can't. Unless anorexic Superman comes by to give you his powers.
I'm very happy to go into analysis mode every time and again. Also, this little badass over here took a little longer to make than I expected it to. So you'll hopefully be seeing it sometime within the next week. I had no idea going in how hard it would be to 4Kids-ify Attack on Titan, the least child-friendly show ever! Aside from like Boku no Pico. This is why I think Boku no Hero Academia's second opening is the best opening of the season, and yes, I'm watching Attack on Titan. Our opening starts off with a protagonist in a little bit of a distance, so we can't really see what expression he's making. The shift to the bottom half of All Might flying across him, where you can only see his reflection in the building, is a beautiful touch. He has not reached All Might. However, when the screen pans back to him, you see his face with a determination that he will reach the symbol of peace, and he himself will become one. This is one of the strongest scenes in the opening, despite how fleeting it seems. Aside from the basics, that All Might's already mid-jump, already, deep into his life, and Deku's just beginning his. This is a contrast with the first opening, where the whole opening was about Deku, who went from an incredibly weak-willed dude to possibly the next All Might. There was a development in the last opening that we do not have in this one, and I say that as a compliment to the first opening and how it portrayed the protagonist, and I say that as a compliment to this one. Deku has no personality in this opening, and therefore, he is meant to be every viewer watching it. Nate likes to battle noticed this, and when he sang his wonderfully done cover of this opening, instead of Deku standing there was him himself. Because that's what everyone is supposed to do. That is what everyone feels. This opening helps you connect with the protagonist to the extent that you feel like you are the protagonist in this setting. Anyone could become awesome. You just need a little bit of determination. After the title card, we do our little run through of the main characters, everyone each showing their own specific personalities with their stretches. The angry fuck Katsuki. Ida, ready to brace the obstacles he's about to face. Todoroki, calm, but when it pans to his face, he looks at you. His eyes are on you, the protagonist. And Uraraka, carefree like the ditz she is, and Kirishima, who was surprisingly in the opening, even though until now he really did not seem like such a major character, at least until this season. Then we have our protagonist Deku, who again has his determined face, who again gives the same air that he did before the title card even showed up. And we zoom to his eye, how he's always looking higher. Then we go to our cast of characters that are all in the tournament on two sides. On the first side, only Todoroki is animated. He's the major threat in this arc, despite Kacchan being in the front row as well. On our second side, Deku and Tokoyami in the front because of Tokoyami's obvious addition to this season. By the way, that guy is awesome. The only animated characters are Deku, of course, and Kirishima. Surprisingly enough, the opening is putting a lot of stress on this guy, so the entire fanbase can be collectively curious about what exactly this guy's doing, because the eye is caught by movement, and then we get moving into the fight scenes. Very awesome, excited fight scenes. Deku versus Todoroki was the climax that everyone was waiting for the entire season. And while we see some other characters do their stuff, and we see stupid Shinso guy acting like an asshole like he was in the show, even though we did absolutely nothing wrong despite how everyone really disliked him, the music here is what gets you. The background music stops for a second when the fight starts, and then it catches up to the singer. Until here, the singer's voice was relatively calm and complacent, always maybe holding in a bit of excitement, and here the excitement is seen and felt by everyone listening to it. Whoever's singing this is loving this show, and is loving this song. And when this chord is repeated the second time, 10 seconds later, his excitement is completely unleashed. In the middle of the fights, we pan to All Might, still in middle of that same jump, presumably. This time All Might flying towards you as opposed to across from you. You could see him at eye level. You've grown over this opening, probably making one of the greatest shows of strength and precision in one scene almost any opening has done, as he's jumped miles and miles in this one jump. And without controlling his flight at all in the sky, he easily lands on the floor to slide under the overpass without destroying anything. Not that I really know how he did it, but that's not the point. It goes to show exactly what kind of a badass this guy is. We cut back to some more major characters doing their thing, our lovely commentators doing their thing, and Deku once again from the back, looking up, trying to reach the top, like every viewer should be doing as well. It gets the heart pumping for so many reasons. And of course, when you see all the characters show up at the end, the most prominent one is Katsuki, because Deku only fights Todoroki in the second round of the tournament, and Katsuki may pose a greater threat than even him, being the first rival of the protagonist. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the message of Boku no Hero Academia's second opening. Yes, there will be awesome stuff in the anime, but everyone can push themselves forward. Anyone can go from zero to hero. You just need the right amount of determination. And also, if you noticed, the
All for one
power that was greatly stressed in opening 1, and that really gives Deku everything he has at this point, wasn't even mentioned at all in the opening. Because really, that's not what's important to become a hero. What's important to become a hero, at least according to this opening, is to fuel your passion with a determination, and you can accomplish anything.
Whether that's true or not, it's out of my hands. But the bottom line is, that's what this thing is trying to tell you. I'm glad I was able to make this video, even though it's not really my sort of thing. Because as I've already mentioned, I love this opening, and it's my favorite of the season, probably of the year so far. And I hope all of you have a wonderful evening.